Quick roll call. Mr. Tampolini, Board Trustee. Mrs. Cooper, Board Trustee. Dr. James, Superintendent. I'm Peter Wunsch, Board President. Steve Hartman, Board Vice President. Mrs. Masiello, Board Trustee. Gene Barnowski, District Council. Mara Harvey, District Council. Michelle Feldman, also representing the Council. Over there we have Mrs. Amy Ryan, Assistant Superintendent for Pupil Personnel Services. Dr. Del Pora, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction and Assessment. And Reza Kolahifer, Executive Director of Personnel. And if everyone could please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If anyone would like to, there's no microphone, but come up and just address us if you have any questions on any of the agenda items.
No. Okay, I have a question for you. I guess we're going to be discussing the it's a proposal for what is it exactly? An agreement, a security audit. And I guess I want to know why do we need a security audit if we already have a security review committee? Who is requesting the audit? Is it the committee? Is it the superintendent?
I'll try to answer your question. As you may know, there was an incident this summer at one of our elementary schools after hours. Throughout the school year, we also had some incidences with regard to security that gave us some pause, some things that are unique and burgeoning, and we expressed some concerns. In the past, there was a head of security for the school district, somebody who fit under that particular title, who was experienced in managing the security force. That has been eliminated, and we have other structures in place, including a head of security who also heads facilities, but also retired police officers who head the North and South security forces. However, given the circumstances, the size of the facilities, and some of the things that were occurring, we felt it pertinent to do a review, an audit. And the reason for that is because of the types of incidences that were occurring. So an intruder in the school, as well as this violent incident on the Indian Hollow playground. We are not by far the only district who would do something like this. A number of districts do these types of reviews, and they do them for these express purposes. So the review would call for, in essence, two particular components. One is a comprehensive review of all phases of personnel and technology deployment in the district, particularly with regard to after hours. What does that look like for us after hours? And we've all heard those concerns, so when schools are quote-unquote closed, we still have activities going on. What's happening in our schools, with who signs up for building use, what athletics are taking place. And then, of course, there are the after hours, which take place late at night, particularly on the weekends, and those really undesirable activities. So how can we secure the facility or monitor the facilities in a different way? In addition to that, we're also looking at all of those aspects with regard to what's happening on a daily basis as the schools are running and functioning. We've had some of these conversations here publicly about what it is that's happening all the time, the changes that have occurred in some of the activities, and administratively we felt it was prudent to bring in an outside resource, an outside set of eyes to conduct these audits and make recommendations to the Board of Education.
Well, I'm not suggesting that it's a bad idea. Possibly it's a good idea. But when I look at who's on the security review committee, you have a south side head of security, a north side head of security. I think in the past presentations you said 85% of the security guards are retired police officers. The other 15% have to take police training or security training or something. We have people from the Suffolk County Police Department on the security review committee. So, what is this review, this audit going to tell us that these people that are on this committee can't tell us, that we have to hire an outside firm to tell us? And I mean, yes, stuff happened after hours, but I would say that's attributed to maybe somebody wasn't doing their job or wasn't patrolling enough. I don't know what caused it, but I think collectively you guys should be able to figure out what went wrong without having to bring somebody from the outside in.
Well, I don't think that's the case. Part and parcel because the level of expertise associated with an outside agency is different than individuals who are currently working in the school district. And that's not at all to minimize the expertise that those folks bring to the table. They're really good at what they do. This audit will look at things beyond just security force and where they're deployed. It will look at our technology. It will look at our security with regard to the facilities, meaning the doors, the door locks. How do we secure large outside areas? What does it look like at night? What kind of cameras? So how do we manage that as we continue to grow a security program that we find is dealing with issues that are new in some regard? Some aren't new. Some of the issues have been going on for, what I'm told, generations. So people have been behind Indian Hollow for many, many, many years. So now it's escalated. So we are really quite concerned in how that might affect our children. Paraphernalia that's left behind and so on. We do have roving patrol. Suffolk PD is involved in the conversation. There's all types of activity associated with that. Another set of eyes in an effort to determine whether or not what we're doing is sufficient is in my professional opinion, appropriate. That's where it came from.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying I disagree with it. Maybe it's something prudent to do, but I just think that we have a lot of eyes and ears already on these committees. We have, a director of facilities. Like you said, you just said that it's been going on for years. I don't know why it's going on for years. I don't know why it wasn't nipped in the butt years ago. But I guess if, that's what you guys feel is the prudent thing for safety, I guess that's the way to go. But I'm just wondering why, with all the things we have in place, events like this happen. I think we've spoken at several meetings about the upgrades in the cameras that are going on. I don't know where we're at with the security cameras, but are there security cameras at the Indian Hollow and the spots where the kids are hanging out? Did they capture the events that happened? But I guess we need an outside guy to tell us that. That's all I got. Thank you.
Yeah, just in closing, this company has done more than 200 school facilities on the island. So it's a practice that, and I understand your questions, legitimate questions. It is a practice that I think at this time is prudent for us to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve personnel? Made by Ms. Masiello, seconded by Mr. Tampolini. Discussion? Guess I can publicly announce that we will be appointing Donna Forbes as assistant principal at our intermediate school tonight. All in favor? Passed unanimously. Now we can clap. Okay. And can I get a motion to approve the agreement with Covert Investigations for the 2013-2014 school year to provide a safety and security audit for the Commack Union Free School District and authorize the president of the board to sign the same, and the funds will be paid from code A1620-40600. Motion made. I'll make the motion. Seconded by Mrs. Masiello. Discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. What is this code? Anybody?
Laura's not here tonight. Sorry.
Okay, second question. Why, if according to this proposal, the work that they're going to do, this review is going to be done within 2 months, why is this contract till June 2014? Is there a reason for that?
And I would have to refer to Mrs. Newman and Mrs. Schramm, but it's my understanding that they will be available to continue to review once they make recommendations if there are specific issues associated. That sort of it's an ongoing process. So once they make recommendations, if we make those changes, if we want them to come in and review something in addition to that, they'll do that.
Once you need another contract, I don't know the scope of the work. The scope of the work right now is limited to this specific review. It's 2 phases. So if you're going to add
verify that.
Status.
We'll verify.
So if that's not the case, then I would just propose that you limit this to maybe, December 1st. And by that time, if you want to offer an extension or if there's other work that need to be done, then you just give them the time.
All in favor? Aye. Passed unanimously. Does anyone have any items they would like to discuss with the board? Please come up to the mic, and please remember there is a 5-minute time limit.
Show up, take questions. I guess it's about 2 weeks ago now, I sent an email to Dr. James, and I guess I copied the board on it. I received a call from the woman who runs the Grand Friends, or ran the Grand Friends program, I guess because I stood up and I talked about her program and some of the kids' programs. They're looking for $250 from the school district to continue the program. They've raised $500 from another nursing home, Martin Luther King Nursing Home or something, and from Gerwin they kicked in $250. So 75% of this program has already been paid for from outside sources, and they're looking for somebody to contribute the last $250. So with the $180 million budget that we have this year, stepping before you to see if you guys can find in one of your codes $250.
Yeah, this is the first time we've met since it, but I have to tell you, Mr. Fusco, I'm now wearing a different hat. I'm going to wear my CEF president hat. And I have a problem with the Gerwin contribution, because remember, these funds, one of the things we're doing in CEF is we're funneling the money through it.
But what is CEF?
Commack Educational Foundation. We've been the conduit for these. It was one of the things, because the money can't go straight to the school district. Gerwin is a not-for-profit. I'm not sure they can make contributions, and they're not on our tax rolls. As CEF president, and that's what I'm speaking as here, not Commack board president, I have a problem accepting a contribution from Gerwin.
Well, you took one last year, didn't you?
That doesn't mean I'm going to make the same mistake 2 years in a row.
Well, extrapolate on why you think it's a mistake.
I don't
I'm
think
really
a not-for-profit can be making contributions. And that's just a separate issue, and if and when I get a check, I will raise the issue with Gerwin and whoever else. If they're not 501c3s, I'm not sure they can be making contributions. They're already a charity. They can't be contributing money to a charity.
But why are you getting into their books and records if they're willing to give the money?
Because I'm accepting money from a not-for-profit, and I don't want to make sure I violate CEF's tax deductible. That's a separate discussion we'll have someplace else. This is the first the board has met since you raised the issue. At some point, we will be discussing that.
Okay, how long will it be before you discuss it? Because
Don't know, we have a lot more, and I hate to say this, we have a lot more pressing items on the agenda tonight that we have to go back into exec session on.
okay, understood. But they also need an answer whether or not they're going to muster their. Like you all say, if there's a want for a club, that you'll reinstate it, or a class or a club, you'll reinstate it. So you can't tell the kids on September 1st, when school starts September 6th or September 7th, that you're going to reinstate a club. I mean, they have to muster their forces to, you're not going to reinstate the club and then find that only 5 kids wanted to join it after they joined something else because they waited all summer to get an answer from you guys. You understand the predicament? It's a catch-22.
They don't, and I understand what you're saying, but they don't join the clubs until the start of the school year. So if we went with your scenario.
Yeah, but you already put the clubs that are going to be offered this year on last year when they got out in
I
June.
understand.
So now they don't know that there's going to be this club.
I understand.
So now,
Well, maybe we can make an announcement if we decide.
Right, if we do it, right,
Let
an
everybody
email
know.
will go out or something.
It's the best we can do right now.
so I'll inform the lady that you guys are going to consider it and think about it, or
If we,
Talk about
wait,
it.
are you asking, is the board coming up with any money, or if we get full contribution? I want to make sure I got this question correct.
we need they need $250.
Beyond what they've
They've
received
already,
from Martin Luther King.
they've already raised $750 of what I understand is a little less than $1,000. So they're looking for you guys to contribute the $250 or $247 or whatever the club amount is. So that these 40 kids or whatever kids.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it, but I need someone from Gerwin to contact me on the other issue. Otherwise, I may not be able to accept the contribution.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Anyone else? Mrs. Berg.
Well, I just wanted to read the board an email that I received from a community member just a few minutes ago. Thank you, Debbie. I cannot find any words to express my thanks. Joe and I are humbled by you, Joe, Beth, the entire community, and the school district. It has been incredible. We are so grateful. It has been bittersweet. God bless you and all you who have helped us have meals, school supplies, etc. We are floored. May God bless and watch over you. So thank the school district from this family. Wanted to thank the community for the help that this community outreach is always doing. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss pending litigation in the matter of Commack Union Free School District versus Jewish Academy? I'll make the motion, seconded by Mrs. Goober. All in favor? Aye. Passed unanimously. No, we're gonna caucus in there, and then we'll figure out how we can meet with all of them again.